to help me through at least the first couple of new minutes of this. I appreciate you. You know, all right. I think I am recording as of now. Good. Let me check my levels. Uh, in the meantime, if anybody's out there, catch this shit. You know, and at some point or another, you find a way of being able to identify that that the sound is good and the and whatnot. Please, just put something in the comments or whatnot. Anybody else? Like, share, subscribe. This is WNDC, NDC, and it stands for We in the Crib and You Not. And this is really not about me trying to get anybody else's attention more so than it is about me just putting some things out. Might sound like some crazy hippie shit, but that's okay. There might be at least 17 people on this planet right now that this video could probably do the best for, and that's where this is at. So, yeah. So my man and I were talking, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, the thing that's really deep about this is that as humans, in a lot of cases, we're not aware of the mere fact that we as humans on this earth in our history will be just as lucky as the humans that were existing during the era that Jesus existed. Now, let me reply that again because it's really comical. As humans, our cycle, is exactly like that. And I don't mean that to point out anything weird outside of the mere fact that the last time that we had the amount of intensity and change and shift that happened in this entire planetary existence we call our solar system, it caused the event that we record and guide ourselves through with Jesus' time. That's before Christ and after death. Even though we know that there's a twist that happened with even that, where 33 years after, before Christ, after death, 0, is where he actually died, but they digress. Even though there have been all these orders and whatnot have been created from that era of knowledgement to where we are today, where, everybody can look this shit up on the internet. And yet, what stands out the most is that on any given day that we're going through the absolute most intense, what the hell is going on personally, that if we are capable of being able to subtract that emotion from ourselves and just take a little visit as to what's going on Earth-wise. I mean, if you got a smartphone, pick that damn thing up, and instead of doing a Doppler to see where the weather's at, what you just see how the winds of change are blowing, and then think about the mere fact that, up until a few years ago, the word bipolar was a curse word, and now here we are with everybody talking about how the Earth is doing some shit so bad that it's more bipolar than everything on it. And they still ain't got they can't keep giving you a report every day, every week, every minute because it's doing some weird shit. And so, yeah, and you telling me about that spinning shit and whatnot too, and how it's like, we got a barometer, but, we can't see what speed we're moving at because it's moving so much that don't nobody know what's going on. Same thing with our weather. Same thing with the way we feel because, we are just plant-based people, dirt and water, technically speaking. So, just like, whatever happens on the earth changes everything on it. And we, luckily enough, have so many other distractions and whatnot as, just animal people, have the biggest problem with it on a day-to-day basis without trying to call ourselves bipolar. When that's the good part. If you were diagnosed with it some kind of way, it wasn't about what you were dealing with then. It's about how you're going to deal with it now. And you're starting to notice how it's rather you sitting back scared to hell about everything else that's going on around you. Are you one of them people that's absolutely losing it? that we read about on a day-to-day basis. What the hell is going on with people out here, man? That's not, and this karma is not hidden, just, it's not bottom feeding. This is almost rapture-like. Like sometimes when, everything in your mind and the spirits and whatnot around you start feeling like you need to be in a moment of panic, that might be the best moment for you to sit back and go, I wonder if everybody else is going through that in their own little way. Maybe if I just stop and think about that shit, I might be better able to muddle through a lot of them. Kind of like zombie apocalypse. Only they ain't trying to eat brains yet. So, and it's, bruh, sometimes it's really good for you to just check out or check in with your other hippie-minded friends. That if nothing else, they'll let you go, well, you must be smoking some good weed. But yeah, man, I sat back one day, not too long ago, and I watched the time go backwards. And I watched the news commentator, literally without blinking, go backwards with it and forward without missing a beat. And I'm sitting back there going, wow. I mean, like, say, Yeah, I lost my man. I'm not sure if it was a good thing or whatnot. He's down south. Man, my bad. I ain't mean to talk a hold of your phone. But
no worries, man. No worries. I gotta go take care of something.
It's all good, man. If you can say anything, man, to help me get through the rest of this video, because I'm stuck. It's on now.
Oh, no worries, man.
No, I'm just saying, if you could just tell me, point out some things from your perspective, what you might been just noticing on how this ain't great-great-grandmama's, day to day no more.
I mean, I guess my own perspective on it is that I guess with each passing day, I guess is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, come on.
I'm looking at a lot of different things that are coming through, and some of the perspectives that people are starting to kind of grasp the concept on that. In a lot of instances, a lot of people were doing, years ago for the most part. And I think it's now, it's its own awakening, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I'm looking at it from the perspective of trying to see exactly where this eventually will lead to, what people have to do in terms of the type of shifts that they need to make in order to be able to adjust to whatever this new vibration is going to look like before it's all said and done.
Word.
By the time we get to the end of the year,
right?
I mean, that alone.
That alone. And see, the thing that really gets me even more so is in the process of everything that is in that same vein of where you go. The one other port is, and will wherever it is that they decide to go or take that or evolve or accept or change or brace themselves or whatever, will it be more productive, to us as a whole as we wish it or desire it, or will it kind of like rapture-like? I mean, when they talk about this population control thing, this kind of event could be just as intense as that. When it's like, if 25% of the people on this earth, whether they're enlightened or not, just decide to go left, but a little too far left with something, and then not notice that it literally excludes them from the next evolution that's happening on this earth, and we, without even noticing, just experience almost a rapture-like, existence as we evolve into this new millennium, this new wherever the hell we going at, because we damn sure ain't going backwards.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And that's weird.
But yeah, it's gonna be its own brand. I mean, like I said, we're looking at going into 2023, and we're already looking at what we're having to do, and we're just getting into August real good.
Right.
And a lot of people. I'm like, me personally, I'm always trying to look, maybe 3-4 months down the road, 6 months down the road, see what I need to do to adjust now.
Right, and
I've been doing that my entire life.
Right, but the way this shit's going now,
trying to do it. Yeah, I'm finding myself trying to do it a little bit more often than what I was doing, because it was cool. It was cool to do it in a sense where it was like, okay, yeah, I can go ahead and figure out the next 6 months.
Right.
It's stable enough in terms of what I'm doing right now that it'll stabilize what I'm doing in the next 6 months. I can't do that now.
Right.
I literally have to go. I almost have to go on a month by month.
Yeah, bob and weave, literally.
Correct.
Literally.
Yeah, to try and course correct as best as I can.
Yeah.
As opposed to what I did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Where I could look in that 6-month window and go, okay, if I do this static thing right here, it'll solidify that next 6 months and I'll be all right.
Right.
Now I can't do that.
Right.
That's really what's going on.
And it was so deep, and I think this is the reason for me, doing this this whole thing. I don't mean to keep you for long, but that's perfect. I sure appreciate all of that, because I think that's something that for even the wokest of woke people that are out there that understand it, but still just like ourselves trying to get through the day-to-days, a lot of times it takes something like this to just give you a heads up that, yeah, this is like that, and it is that serious. This is not a drill, and yet in some cases it's really going to require a lot of us to share these things up to the point of where we're at right now, realizing, okay, all right, I know that it sucks, but, yeah, we're all facing this moment in time where it's better for us to really, try to, get through, a quarter at a time or a week at a time, or just because every time you think you can, handle going forward, half of the things that, that existed in the forward drop out of your, your equation, and you sitting there going, oh, well, all right, yeah. So it's like, people living spiritually, well, trying to find spiritual Bitcom,
Well, I think that's the other half of it. I think right now people are starting to really kind of reconnect on that particular plane.
Right.
More so now than what they had. A lot of people are not necessarily from a organized religion.
Oh yeah,
but it's really more along the lines of they're trying to see exactly what they can connect with, how they can connect it, and do so in a manner where they don't necessarily have to do it from a groupthink mentality.
Right, and see that's what therein lies. Some of the complications as people of color that we have, because we have these I don't know. We have what's the word to call it? We have these micro groups of enlightened types that we've grown to have a cultural respect for, and now we're in this kind of era where part of the difficulty is them reaching out, kind of like the joke, black man, a white man, a preacher man, a Jew, all was in a bar. And you're going, okay, well, but what we're talking about is 5 people. You know what I'm saying? But when you mention it in the manner that you mention it, each person kind of envisions their cultural perspective enough that even in that case, sometimes, kind of like, traveling now in the world, and you're all in this doggone air terminal, and then all of a sudden somebody decides to start popping off. It's at that point that you don't want to look for or reach for, the one perspective of people that you're comfortable with. You want to find the smartest motherfuckers that seem to be, logically taking whatever advances they need to, and see if they see you too, and see if y'all can, save each other from getting popped. And it's something that instinctually is an example of where we are now today. And a lot of this shit that's happening as these new ages are setting in. Because no matter what anyone else wants to say, in another 100, 150 years from now, somehow, just judging from the cycle of humans on this earth, they'll be reinventing a new way of identifying the next 26,000 years of existence for us. I mean, at best it might turn into some, Star Trek shit, or what, but I mean, that's not for us. I mean, we still got to stick out the next 60, 100 years that we might be able to still be breathing on this dirt, and also being surrounded by a bunch of people who have less of a clue, just due to the mere fact that the people who start finding out that this shit was about to happen did a shitty ass job of being able to educate enough people to let them know that we need to educate enough people, to realize that part of the shit that we're going through right now in 2022 is the mere fact that this is some shit that that is expected due to the mere fact that we are living on a planet that's right now in such a bipolar state that you find the craziest person who's ever been identified as bipolar, and imagine that being on the earth that we're sitting on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's kind of deep when you think about it, when you take a moment to think about that. Because, we still got to go through and next. What's tomorrow going to be like? What's the next week going to be like? Oh, shit, we're about to go into the elections. Oh, wow, here comes the winner. Wow. Yeah, man. All right, I appreciate you, bro. Get a missus and everybody my my hello, love, and appreciation and all of that.
Absolutely.
And I'm sending y'all positive energy, and I appreciate you helping me get this far in this.
No doubt, man. My pleasure.
All right, peace.
Man.
That's my man, Brother Pharaoh. I'm just going to leave it just like that. So, here I am in the bottom line, about 15 minutes deep into this. And, yeah, man, I really just don't know how much more I can really relate to you right now that would make sense or even be, any more entertaining or not than where I'm at right now. But I am saying that, man, being a Washingtonian is kind of deep because, yeah, you're on this dirt that spiritual people have at some time or another, imagined how to design a man-made environment that would be set to at least hold some of the most valid people on the planet as it does what it do, and I think that's why, they call it the bubble or compass or whatnot, because it's not that we're not a part of everything, but, sometimes, you can look out everywhere else and be like, woo, man, sucks to be you. Yeah, it's coming our way, but it will just blow right around us and keep going like that for some strange reason that was built to be that way, but for a reason that requires many of us to consider the need to think for those who might be, thinking about what to do now. You have to be the things that are going on right now on this earth with us people as we are is preparing a lot of us to be more equipped to be able to understand where we at and what's going on, because there's absolutely nothing that anybody is prepared to believe is the expected manner into which we are supposed to be as all humans on this earth that's going to be exactly like that in the next year to 2 years to 20 years to 2030, 33, just on a guess. And being that everything is spinning a little faster, we're a little more ahead of the game in things that we're ill-equipped to understand and relate in the right mindset to be able to make the right choices, to do the right things or not. And that's the reason why we're starting to see a lot of almost rapture effect, where it's highly possible that people are just, imploding. The more you decide not to want to know, the more that you decide not to want to care, the more it seems like the environment considers you more biodegradable. So with all that being said, I'm going to let this go where it's going to go. And if you like this, share, subscribe, and also donate. Nothing says thank you like cash to this post or whatnot. I sure appreciate you. Playing it forward never hurt nobody. You good?